गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णू गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम्. Let there be peace and love amongst all the human beings of this universe. Let there be peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have started the revision of chapter number 9, that is story of Dhamma and others. Completed the first topic and starting the second topic, that is Ahankar Trividha. Ego is of three kinds. Three kind of egos. What are those egos? Loka number 16, chapter number 9, page number 89. So it says that of the intellect which wills, let this be mine, let this be mine, because of its dejection due to misfortune, not even ash falls to its shares at any time. Bhasmapyu patishtati, daurbhagya na bhasmapyu na pratishtati. So, if you keep on saying like this is mine, the what the scripture is saying that even the what to say the things, but even the ash doesn't fall to his share. So if your ego is like such a strong ego, that is a worldly ego, then you suffer in that ego because nothing is going to be in your share. So what do you mean by this? Vasishtha Rishi is telling Ram, is don't create your strong ego about the world. Worldly things and possessions are not going to last forever. If the things and possessions are there with you, it's okay. So enjoy it. If it is not there, don't get disheartened. So remain contented and remain tranquil. Over and above, you have to have an attitude of inquiry so that this passion will sprout up and then it will take us to advance us in our spiritual practice. So what is our spiritual practice? Spiritual practice is very simple. We don't have to become extraordinary. We don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. We don't have to justify anything to anybody in this world. We are not obliged by answering every question. So what Mahamantra has to be in the use in that case? I don't know. That's all. Over. So how these wise people behave in the world? Janavat medhavi jadavat acharya. They know everything. They know they are Shotriya Brahmanishta, but they will show as if they are the fools of the highest order. In the world, they just do Karnataka and nothing more than that. So, what keeps us going in this worldly? This thing is only satsang, that is afternoon meeting, satsang, whatever the name you give, contemplation on the religious books like Essence of Yoga Vasishtha. So, further shloka says, all adversities leaves that noble minded person whoever regards even the three worlds as straw, that is worthless, just as serpents abandon the old skin. So the person, noble-minded person, what he does is he just consider all these three people, loka, three worlds. What are the three worlds? Bhulok, Patalok, and Swargalok. All the three loks he disregards as this straw, worthless. They are worthless. Like the serpent leaves his skin. After the use of that skin, serpent drops the skin and go away from there. So similarly, he if is a noble-minded person, nothing in this world can trouble his mind. He said, okay, things keep on coming and going, so nothing to worry about this world. For him, is the world is a long, long dream. So when it is not, it is a mirage water. So he is not bothered about this world. To such a person, all misfortune become riches, and everywhere disregard becomes victory. Apadam sampadam sarva sarvatra na adaro jaya. So such person, if somebody is abusing, he says, okay, thank you, because anyway you are right. I also abuse myself because it is full of all filthy things and all that. So I also disrespect with that. And if you are respecting, then you are respecting that Almighty. You are not respecting Him. So both the things he surrenders. And misfortune becomes rich as he tries to get the benefits of every situation. Egoism is a sprout of tree of birth which are undecaying by the nature. Ahankar bhava ankuro janma vrukshanam akshayatmanam. It is akshay, egotism, the worldly. Once you are attached to the world, the ego becomes more and more fat. Their branches are spread out by thousands in the form of the thoughts. The branches are spread as thousands in the form of thoughts. So thoughts are very important. The thoughts has to be minimized. So mind minus thought is equal to consciousness. This is mind, Raghava, Rama, that egoism. Therefore, this is mind. This ego creates a big problem in the life. So Raghava, Rama, this egoism are of three kinds in this triple world. In this triple world means all the three worlds are covered here. That is Bhulok, Patalok, and Swargalok. All the three worlds are covered here. So what is the first ego? I am all this universe. I am the supreme spirit, imperishable. There is nothing else. That means it is considered as such a disposition of mind is the indeed the highest kind of ego. That means it is out of these three akash, bhutakash, chittakash, and chidakash. Bhutakash and chittakash are empty spaces where chidakash is solid consciousness. So this is a solid consciousness. He feels there is none other than the consciousness here. So he is always in the bliss. Second world is I am distinct from everything, considered as the hundredth part of the point of the hair. Such a perception as this is the auspicious ego of the second kind. That means Jiva Bhav is there. This refers to the consciousness of subtle individual soul as distinct from physical and mental sheath, but making them as conscious. And third is, I am only this totalities, this hand, these legs, these organs. Such a conviction is that third kind of ego. This ego is called as worldly ego. I mean, that is just contemptible. It has to be tucha. It has to be thrown away. So three egos are there. What are the three egos? One is that I am the Almighty. The world is full of Almighty. Only Almighty exists. This is the highest ego. Second ego is Jiva Bhav. So I am different than my God. And third is that I am only this body and the world. So third, this thing ego is called as tucha. Betaking oneself to the first two types of ego beyond the worldly type, the third ego of the third type of ego, worldly, the giver of sorrow shall be abandoned. Dukkadaini, it is called as Dukkadaini. If you are putting your mind in the world, it is always Dukkadaini. So what has been said here, the Papaji says very nicely that remove that I. He says remove that I, and what remains? What remains is nothing. This is the truth. What remains is nothing. This is the truth. That's what he says. So remove the I the first. Go step by step. Remove the I first. When you remove the I, what remains is nothing. So what has to be done then? Nothing to do, nowhere to go. So remain disciplined, simple person. Whatever comes in the way, Hari Icha or Hari Krupa. If it goes by your mind, it is Hari Krupa. If it goes against your mind, then it is Hari Icha. But then you always remain tranquil, blissful, cheerful, contented, and over and above cool and relaxed. So when we are one with our divine nature, there is no issue of the body or the jiva. That is Aham Brahmasmi Swadha. Nothing is there. We go beyond. Let our mind be like mirror. It reflects everything, rejects nothing and retain nothing. Nothing. As a result, we start living in the utter present. Having abandoned even the earlier two types and the devote of all ego, whoever exists, he alone reaches the supreme state surely. This alone is the highest position, the absolute and the ultimate good. So the person who drops all the three types of ego. So what are the three types of ego? One ego is like I am that everywhere I am existing. That is the first ego. Second is the Jiva Bhav. Third is worldly Bhav. That is Dehatma Bhav. So Dehatma Bhav, Jivatma Bhav, and Ishwaratma Bhav, all the three has to be dropped. So basically, I has to be dropped. So Bhagwan Ramakrisha Paramahansa used to say ki me gela ki zanjar gela. He used to say me has to be dropped. This I has to be dropped. But if this eye is not in a position to drop, then he used to say that turn this eye towards that Almighty. Meet as a bhakta. I am his devotee. So you make yourself as a devotee, and slowly that bhav also will go, and then you will merge into the that divinity. So whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you want it or not, you are divine. Only divinity exists. It is unfragmented consciousness. You take the advantage of that. Remove that I from your mind. So more and more you make this I thinner and thinner. What happens is that Almighty starts projecting Himself, and we always remain blissful and contented in life. With this prayers, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramachandra Pranamastu. Submitting the divine fruits to the holy fruits of Sri Ram.